Hello, everyone. I'm Abigail Cookstone, the founder and CEO of Otherland, and today we have an incredible episode of Fireside Chats for you with Arianna Huffington. I'm nervous. I'm a little shaky. I can't believe that the day has come. I've been looking forward to this for so long. She is an icon, a woman in business who has created and built so much, and this is a big moment to talk about all things from sleep, which is her big topic, of course, resiliency, self-care, Thrive, and all that they've been doing for first responders. So it's a big day. I'm so glad you've joined us. So thank you. And she should be joining us shortly. Let's see. She's here. Let me give it a second. So we're going to talk about all of those topics. I have got some of my flowers over here for my class that I'm taking on Sunday that arrived earlier this week. So that's really exciting. And today I'm going to be lighting the Amber Vittoria scent for our chat. So that's coming soon. Actually, a few other things while we're waiting for Arianna to share. Our Mother's Day packaging is available. Make sure you grab one. The clock is ticking with Mother's Day upon us soon. Oh, great. Okay, Arianna has just joined. Great, so let's add her in. Wonderful. Hi. Oops. Perhaps there we go. Perfect.
Hi.
Hello, Arianna. It is such an honor. I've been looking forward to this day, and we're just so thrilled to have you on Fireside Chat. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I love being with you, and thank you so much for your beautiful candle. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, I'm so glad you're enjoying it. Oh, thank you so much. So I guess to kick off our Fireside Chat, I'm going to do the inaugural lighting of the candle to sort of bring us into the moment and begin. While I'm doing that, I'd love to ask if you could, you don't need an introduction, but if you could introduce yourself to our audience.
So I'm delighted to be with you. My name is Arianna Huffington. As you can hear from my accent, I wasn't born in this country. I was born in Greece. And I went to school in England, came here, and have been writing books, launching the Huffington Post. And in 2016, I left the Huffington Post to launch Thrive Global, which is a company to help us reduce the stress and burnout in our lives and live our lives in ways that are healthier and happier.
Which could not be, especially so relevant now in what everyone's going through with coronavirus. And so we've got lots of great topics to dive into today. And I think my first question for you would be sort of, where are you? How are you doing? And of course, how are you sleeping?
So I'm in Los Angeles. I normally live in New York, in Soho, around the corner from our office.
Yeah.
But we moved to Los Angeles with my two daughters and my sister so that we can have a garden with a lemon tree and a gardenia bush, which I must say makes sheltering in place much easier. And of course, this is a time when we're busier than ever because health and wellness are top of mind for companies and for all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've heard from a lot of people. Well, actually, we'll talk about sleep in a second. So how is your mental health right now, and how are you taking care of it? And this is something that has kept coming up. And I know for me, I'm looking out right now over the Lower East Side. It's a very gray, gloomy day in New York. It's very much a roller coaster of emotions, feeling this collective grief, and especially in New York, the constant reminders, when you go outside and everything closed, it almost feels abandoned, the ambulances, the sirens, feeling this, the deep sadness from that. And also, being reminded that we do have to forge ahead, to push forward, to keep building and coming together in this time. And it's just taking it day by day. There's just that lingering uncertainty and anxiety from that. And for me, I'm finding that sleep is huge for me. Getting some kind of exercise, even if it's just walking around the block. I talk to a therapist weekly on the phone, and keeping the news to a minimum.
So I completely agree with you. There is the collective grief, the loss of loved one, the loss of jobs, the financial uncertainty, the general uncertainty about the future. So what we practice and preach at Thrive is how can we introduce micro steps into our daily lives? Uh, Small daily new practices that add gradually to healthier habits, because that's the way to counteract all the pain and the grief, which are absolutely understandable.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we all have in us a place of peace and wisdom and strength and resilience, and we need to tap into it. And let me give you my 3 favorite micro steps.
Yes.
We have hundreds, but my 3 favorites are, first of all, anytime we're feeling particularly stressed, instead of reaching for our phone to distract ourselves, scrolling through social media or whatever, let's focus on our breath. Literally, our breath is our superpower. We can take just 60 seconds for some deep inhales and deep exhales, and that helps us center again.
Yeah.
Literally, the science tells us it takes 60 seconds to let go of the cortisol stress hormone and return to what I like to call the eye of the hurricane. You know, even in the middle of a hurricane, there is a place of peace, and we can all access it. My other favorite micro step is finding many opportunities during the day to remember what we are grateful for. Because even in the middle of a pandemic, with all the things that we are afraid and anxious about, there are things to be grateful for.
Even if it's just hot water in the shower, you know.
Absolutely, the tiniest thing.
Yeah.
And for me, I try to do that when I'm washing my hands many times a day, when I'm brushing my teeth, when I'm doing things that don't require thinking. I try to remember just 3 things I'm grateful for, and always before I sleep.
Yes.
And my third favorite micro step, and you alluded to it, is to have a clear cut-off time for absorbing coronavirus news at night.
Yes.
Because a lot of people obviously want to be informed, but trust me, there's nothing you can do with some latest news at the end of your day, just before you have to disconnect from the news to be able to surrender to sleep.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, the news is just addictive right now, and you know, the updates. The truth is, the updates aren't that dramatic throughout the day. You only, you should get your news and get informed, but you don't need to be plugged into it every second. It's just so anxiety producing. So all of those. And so on a similar, related note, so what is your personal definition of self-care, and what are some ways that you're practicing it right now? I always sort of, mental health is so connected to self-care, but sort of in defining the two, what are some things that you're doing right now?
So my foundation for my self-care is sleep.
Yeah.
And it's actually the foundation for our immunity too. And right now we need to strengthen our immunity, because that's our protection against the virus. And you saw how many of the people who are most severely affected by the virus have pre-existing conditions.
Yes.
So our own behaviors can affect our own immunity. And sleep is central, but as you said, A lot of people are having the hardest time right now being able to disconnect from the day and their fears and go to sleep.
Yes.
So we partnered with Audible and we
Yes.
launched a suite of sleep solutions for free on Audible that you can download. And they include a sleep meditation by Didi, short
Amazing.
poems, which I absolutely love, and which will put you to sleep any day, I promise. Also, a sleep story by Nick Jonas,
Amazing.
um, multiple other meditations by Gabby Bernstein, by my sister Gabi Stassinopoulos, my own parody of Goodnight Moon.
Oh,
For those who have children, you know, you
yes.
always give your children a transition to sleep. Well, we also need to give it to ourselves.
Yeah.
And Good Night Smartphone is my parody of Good
I
Night
love
Moon.
it.
So having a transition to sleep is key. A hot shower, a hot bath with a beautiful candle beside you is a great way to unwind from the day, for example.
Yeah. I love that. All of those. And so again, you as an expert in sleep, with your book, Transform the Sleep Revolution, Transforming Your Life. So sleep, again, keeps coming up, and we've been hearing people having strange dreams, trouble staying asleep, falling asleep. You've mentioned some ideas, having your wind down routine, cutting off the news early. Is there anything else that you would suggest as tips for getting a good night's sleep? I know for myself, I use both a sound machine, like you may have at a therapist's office, a white noise machine, and then earplugs. And for snoring, New York noises, and those are two of my big little tips.
I love those because quiet and dark
Yes.
and cold are
Yeah.
all essential. So if you don't have blackout curtains, even wearing an eye mask
Mm-hmm.
can help. And controlling the temperature if you can. I like it at about 69 degrees, so that
Ooh.
because your temperature rises when you are asleep and
Yeah.
under the bed covers, and that can wake you up also.
Yeah.
Um, Also, when you wake up in the morning,
Mm-hmm.
another micro step that we love at Thrive
Mm-hmm.
is to take 60 seconds. Again, 60 seconds is a magical number.
Yeah.
To remember what you're grateful for, set your intention for the day,
Mm-hmm.
take some conscious breaths, do anything before you go to your phone.
Yes.
Take 1 minute before you go to your phone. 72% of people go straight to their phone before they're even fully conscious.
Yeah.
So that's also very important because, again, you start your day
Mm-hmm.
ready to face whatever challenges await you rather than already stressed out from
Yeah.
whatever perhaps you read on your phone.
Yeah, I love that. We spoke with Aya Kanai, the new editor in chief of Marie Claire, and she found a closet in her apartment with an outlet, and she plugs her phone in there, shuts the door, and then in the morning she does yoga with a book. So she can stay screen free. It's a book of yoga poses, so she can stay screen free. And I love that kind of closing your phone away in its little apartment.
Absolutely. That is a big micro step for us. If you
Yeah.
can have a big micro step, to pick a time at the end of the day when you escort your phone out of your bedroom and charge it wherever you want, in a closet, in a hallway, in the
Yeah.
bathroom, but not next to your bed, because
Right.
especially if you wake up at night, you're going to be tempted to
Totally.
go to your phone to distract yourself.
Totally. And there are all these apps now that track your sleep and so forth, but just put your phone away. You don't need it. So I agree. So
But a lot of these apps can track your sleep without your phone being nearby. I mean, I use the
yeah,
Aura Ring
yeah.
to track my sleep, but you don't need your phone on your nightstand.
So the Aura Ring that's like a ring on your finger.
Yes, you put it on your finger and it tracks your sleep, but my phone is never on my nightstand.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. I'm going to check out Aura for sure. So let's talk about the intersection of self-care and home design. So are there any spots or features in your home that promote wellness? And one thing I'd add on this topic is, so my bedroom, so even as a kid, I never liked to go to sleep. You know, the world was just too exciting. There were too many things happening. I didn't want to go to bed. And still, you know, that's sort of been the case. And recently, something I'd been really wanting to do for a long time is kind of do a grown-up redesign of my bedroom. And so my friend Kate, who's a designer, helped me, and we designed this headboard, and I got this wallpaper that I love. I saved up for these beautiful sheets with the scalloped trim, and I've been learning how to make a hotel style bed, I call it. So I have this little spray bottle, and I go around and I smooth out the wrinkles. But, you know, I realized that I take such pleasure in getting into a delicious bed. And that has really helped me to log more hours of sleep, making it a bed that I can't resist getting into. So I wonder, you know, what are some other ideas there?
First of all, I absolutely love that and completely agree. And I think anybody can start with their nightstand.
Yes.
Very often our nightstands are so cluttered, we just throw everything there.
Sure.
So I like to have my nightstand like an altar, you know, very, very sparse.
Yeah.
I try to have a candle, always a candle,
Yeah.
some water,
Uh-huh.
a pad with a pen if I want to write down something or write down a dream, some favorite books that have nothing to do with work, poetry, novels, spiritual teachings,
Yeah.
and keep it kind of very basic.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I have a garden here, I pluck a rose or a gardenia, just like very minimalist, but very clean.
Yeah.
And like a bed that is like a magnet, it draws you.
Yes. I love that. And just, you know, starting small, a small surface like the nightstand, the bedside table, and these can really help promote those habits. I love that. So now, or go ahead. Oh, I wasn't sure. Okay, so now I would love to talk about my mom for a minute. And so my mom, who passed away in 2017 after she had ocular melanoma, a rare cancer. So she had this saying, and it really became a life philosophy and survival strategy for her, that she passed on to me, and this has become my personal mission to share with the world through Otherland. And so that expression is the extra verve of the added touch. So the extra verve of the added touch is all about a little bit of extra effort that you put into something that takes it from good to great, elevates the everyday. So the example that I like to use, I guess, from my daily life would be when you get clementines and they come in the bag or a crate, you put the clementines in a bowl. It's not too fussy, it's not Martha Stewart, but it's just a small gesture, creates a moment of beauty. And my mother really developed this practice of finding and creating these moments of verve for herself, these little things that she really nourished her soul. And, you know, for her, as she dealt with having her illness with cancer, she had a high-powered job, chief development officer of McLean Hospital, caring for my dad who had Parkinson's disease, taking care of me, you know, being the sole breadwinner in the family. These little things, even if it was just driving on the same route to work she had taken for 17 years, seeing a beautiful tree that she hadn't noticed before. And it's really all about cultivating this practice for yourself of finding things that, as Marie Kondo would say, spark joy. And I think this relates, you know, to your micro steps in many ways. And so especially now, looking for these things, little things that spark joy and can carry you through. So for me, a few little things that I want to share. So I just bought these edible flowers on Etsy for $14. They sent me these. So this weekend I'm going to turn all of my food into works of art. So I'm really excited for that. And I decided I needed a little fun in my life. So I got some silly string on from Party City. So I wonder, what are some things in your life that are kind of sparking joy for you, or bringing comfort and a little bit of fun?
So, for me, these verbs are all qualities we can bring forward,
Yeah.
starting with loving.
Yeah.
So often a lot of our interactions during the day are impersonal.
Yeah.
So if we can try and bring a little extra loving, that's what I try and do in every interaction.
Yeah.
Whether it's with our families, whether it's on Zoom calls, whether it's with our colleagues.
Yeah.
And right now, these times really kind of demand this from us, because we never start a conversation now about work without asking, how are you? How are you
Yes.
doing? Like you did today in our
Yeah.
conversation. Where are you? How are you?
Yeah.
So that is something which I hope we're going to take with us when we're out of the pandemic.
Yeah.
It's kind of empathizing with each other, identifying with each other in a way that we haven't been doing.
Yeah.
Because we've all been living our lives in such a breathless and busy way that a lot of these tiny verbs
Yeah.
have been falling by the wayside.
Yeah. I love it. No, for sure. And do you have any self-care guilty pleasures? Although nothing should be guilty right now.
Oh, absolutely no, nothing guilty about hot baths,
Yeah.
which is a huge pleasure and end of the day ritual with Epsom salts
Oh, yes.
and a candle, just as I said,
Yeah.
preparing myself for sleep. It's like washing away the day with all its challenges and concerns and whatever each one of us is going through, and being able to say goodbye to all that, recharge, and start again in the morning. And we have a lot of these micro steps and joy triggers on my Instagram, which is Arianna Huff with 2 Fs. I do a Sunday newsletter also, that anybody can subscribe to. Just go to thriveglobal.com/newsletter. And we try with everything we do, all the content we produce on the site, on our app, to remind people of what is available to us right now, even during these incredibly uncertain and anxious times.
I love it. Okay, everyone, make sure to check Instagram, sign up for the newsletter, and all of that. So I'm going to switch topics a little bit, and let's talk about scent. So a fun topic. And I love that you've been cultivating gardenia and some fragrant flowers in your new garden. And I wonder, what's your scent persona? Do you gravitate towards a specific type of scent?
Well, I gravitate towards scents from my childhood. As I said, I grew up in Greece, so jasmine, gardenia, lemon trees. They are very hard scents to reproduce.
Yes.
But whenever I get them right, I love them. And I love India, and I've spent a lot of time there. So I also love this more smoky, sandalwoody
Oh, yes.
Sort of sense of India.
Beautiful. I love that. All of those. And so scent is the strongest trigger of memory. And in fact, in the brain, unlike the other four senses, scent goes right to the amygdala and hippocampus, the areas closely associated with memory and emotion. So I wonder, what is a scent that brings back a strong memory for you? And one for me is, so my first job in New York after college was working at the US Open, and I was a ball girl. I had the ball girl outfit. And so the scent of tennis balls, of a freshly popped can of tennis balls, that industrial rubber. So we did a candle called Match Point. So it's tennis ball, grass, and cucumber. But what I wonder for you.
Well, for me, again, all the memories from my childhood, even though I've lived outside Greece longer than I've lived in Greece, these memories always evoke joy. And so all these garden memories that I mentioned, or just the perfume of the sea, of course, there's nothing like the Greek sea.
Oh my gosh.
And so that's another scent I absolutely love, but not in a perfume.
Yeah.
In reality.
Yes. I love that. I can just, the Aegean blue and that sea salt and beautiful. So to switch topics, so let's talk about Thrive. What is the latest at Thrive? What have you been working on? And we'd love to hear about some of the action Thrive has been taking to support healthcare workers and other, recent wellness programs.
Yes, so as I said, Thrive, our goal is to help people adopt healthier behaviors, and anybody can go to thriveglobal.com and find amazing content. Also on all our social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, but also we'd love to hear your stories, starting with you. Anything that you can share with us about how you thrive. We have 80,000 contributors and people love learning from each other.
Yeah.
So please send us anything you have, and also Thrive together with the Harvard first to support frontline healthcare workers.
Wow.
Through not just protective equipment, but accommodations, childcare, food, and mental health support.
Wow. So many things, and thank you for all of these resources that you've created that we can all, tap into. And
thank you so much, and thank you for all you are doing. And please write for us and tell us about all the things you are doing to thrive. Thank you so much. Sending virtual hugs and kisses.
Yeah, thank you. And so let's see. So we've got one or two more questions if you have time.
Unfortunately, I have a hard out because I have to jump on a webinar I'm hosting in 2 minutes.
Totally. Arianna, thank you so very much for all of this wisdom that you've shared. We're going to check out all of your recommendations, and we really appreciate you taking this time to connect with everyone and share.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Thank you.
A inspiring fireside chat with Arianna Huffington. I'm so grateful for her, and we'll pull together all of those tips from her and some of her resources to share. So everyone, tomorrow we have Heidi Gardner from SNL who's going to be joining us. I hope you'll join me in that to close out the weekend with a cocktail. So thank you again, and see you tomorrow. Take care.